Hello everyone. I just wanted to make a video on pretty much showcasing my portfolio so far. Yeah, I haven't really uploaded in a while. I haven't really been that interested in YouTube that much. I've kind of been more focused on just improving my art. And yeah, that's really all I've been focused on is just improving my art, trying to find a more clear direction on where I want to go, figure out who I really want to be as an artist, what kind of place I want to go. Do I want to be in the artist industry? How do I want to make a living off it? Do I even want to make a living off it? I don't know. I just know that I enjoy working on my world, the world building that I'm doing. I think it's a huge part of why I'm so passionate about art is the world building, is the characters that I create in my own head. And if I could make a living off that, then that would be amazing and perfect. Um, but yeah, I've created quite a few pieces since you guys have last actually checked out my video, so let's go through them. Why not? So this one is I like to call Spirits in a Forest. I wouldn't say I mean it would I could imagine this being like a scene in the world that I'm working on, but me creating it was less to do with the world building aspects, but it was more just like I don't know, it was I took this picture. I was walking through a local forest near my house and it was kind of dark. It wasn't too dark, but it was dark enough to like not really see what was going on. And I just took this picture and I was like, wow, this kind of looks nice. I kind of want to do like a painting of this as a reference. Obviously, the little red spirits were not there, because they don't exist. They only exist in my head. And I kind of got inspired by Princess Mononoke. You know that scene with all the little white spirits that were like appearing in the forest. So that scene really hit home for me. I don't know why. I'm so fascinated with just nature and just the unseen stuff. Like I like to imagine that there's these little spirits, even though we can't see them. They're just walking around the forest, vibing, chilling, having a good time. And yeah, that was kind of the whole thing with the actual piece. It's not like hyper detailed, but I'm very proud of this piece. I think the values came out really nice, like the brush strokes with some of the leaves that blend into like the more darker values. I feel like I did a really good job with this, and it's a piece that I'm very proud of, and probably something that I could imagine selling quite well, but we'll see. I've recently opened up, well, I haven't opened up my Etsy. I've started trying to take it more seriously, like really uploading all my prints, uploading all my, getting all my work printed, and then uploading it and trying to, bulk up my Etsy store. And even if I'm wasting money on the prints, who knows? It might go somewhere. Anyway, then we don't have to talk about that right now. Let's go through my portfolio. This is my most recent one. I was relatively proud of this. There's parts of it that I still need to like improve on, like the cloak and the sort of like the brush strokes on the cloak, especially on like the not like around its neck, but more like the brush strokes that are more close to the body. I wouldn't. This is close to being finished. I wouldn't say 100% finished. I kind of wanted to keep it in my portfolio as like a placeholder, so I could maybe improve it in the future. But it's pretty much close to being finished, and it's a piece that I'm quite proud of. It's one of my OCs called Freya. Uh, the full name is Freya of the Gilded Concord. I could go through all the lore reasons and all the lore for this character and everything, but I don't think I need to. But she's not. She's a character in my world. She's not like a massive character, She's more of like a side character. But I always enjoy working on my side characters more. I feel like working on your side characters really fleshes out the world. But with this piece, I could say my proudest part of the piece is definitely the metal I did on the legs. I think I did a pretty decent job with conveying the metal texture on the legs, and it came from me doing a lot of metal studies. Well, not even just metal studies, material studies, and really trying to understand what makes metal metal. And simply put, metal is a very reflective material, and when you understand that, it really does help with um, just understanding the like it's all about value transitions. When you understand all that stuff, it makes understanding all these different materials a lot easier. But I was very proud of this piece. I do like to like I know some people say you shouldn't do this, but when I'm done with a piece, I like to put like a you know what? I'm not gonna say it. It's a little secret of mine. Maybe in the future, but I'm not gonna let anyone know what I do, how I polish my artwork at the end. But yeah, so this is Freya of the Gilded Concord, and if you are interested in the lore, please comment below and tell and say I want to learn more about your lore or whatever. If you are actually interested, I would love to talk about it more. It'll be nice to find people interested in my world as much as I am. So yeah, just let me know if you're interested in this kind of stuff. Also, the way that the metal on the sword is, I was quite proud of. But yeah, on to the next piece. Zeri Inferno. So this is one of my characters, like let's say enlightened form. This character is called Zeri. I have her base design as well. This will be her like enlightened design. I was very proud of this piece when I first created it. I still am. I don't like the cloak at all. I really was a bit lazy on the cloak. I know that I could do if I actually go back to the cloak, fix it a little bit. This would be near perfection, but this is a piece that I'm very proud of. And I didn't expect to create it almost. I just found like this pose online, and then I just kind of started to I was just drawing the pose, and I was like, why don't I just draw my character while I'm doing it? And everything I do, all these characters I have that I've drawn, like I've written about, I have descriptions of, I've got pages and pages of lore details. So everything I do, I like to believe that there's heavy meaning to everything, and like I like to believe that you can really feel like the solar energy expressed through this piece, this character. The fire and everything. Um, I was very proud of this. I was really trying to sell like the Kurdish symbolism as well. Like, I don't think I did too much a good job with portraying that, apart from like the jewelry, because Kurdish people, Kurdish women especially love gold, and if you look at a lot of like Kurdish dresses, you will see that there's a lot of gold on them. I feel like I could have done a better job with conveying that a bit, not just the gold, but like the dresses. I could have done a bit of a better job with mainly just that, but I think I really sold like the sun feeling, the solar, the certain shape designs. The fire on the hand, especially the right one, I feel like I did a great job on. I feel like you could really feel the fire on it. The blue flame on the left is I could do that. I could do that better, honestly. I only really made the flame blue because I just wanted it to like sort of contrast almost. Add something cool to contrast with the the warmth of the whole piece. But yeah, I was very proud of this. I was very proud of like how I made like the metal of the gold. Like you can really tell that it's metal, like it's gold. You can tell that it's metal as well. But yeah, I created this like a few months ago. This was the piece that I created that I feel like I was entering like a more advanced territory. Even the hair, like I was able to portray like the fire in the hair and everything. Like I was very proud of this piece. But I just know I know I can do better. And yeah, on to the next piece. Aranis the Lifebringer, my first character I think I ever really designed. So this isn't the first piece I've ever designed. This is like so I reworked this actual painting here is I reworked it from before. Basically what I did was before the bow was more of like a blue energy, and in the rework I adjusted the anatomy a little bit. I didn't really do too much with the rest of it. The only thing I did was make the bow into a water, add an arrow, add the little butterflies around, um, sort of adjust the skirt thing. I don't know what you call it. I should know, but I don't, unfortunately. And yeah, it was mainly just the water because the law for the character was that he's able to like create things from water, whether it's like a bow or like whatever. He's just he's a water dancer, which is in my world is like the art form of manipulating water. And yeah, and I just had to go back and improve on the piece because before the bow was just like a blue light and it didn't really make sense for the law. And I went back to it, improved the piece, and I'm quite proud of this. There's things I'm not really too fond of with the piece because the anatomy and stuff isn't that good. But I did create this before I really studied anatomy. This was like the anatomy isn't bad, but like this the stuff that I do now is I have a much better. I can see the flaws in the anatomy. Before I couldn't really see the flaws as much. Now I can really see the flaws, and obviously the water effects. A lot of them was from studying Can Lu or Lu Can. I don't know. His Instagram is art of 666K. A lot of you guys probably know him. He's known for his like effects and his like mainly his water effects. And I was like studying his art for about a week or two, and I picked up on how he actually creates the water effect, and I like how I did this. Especially the arrow. Like I think I did the arrow so fucking sick. The arrow is my favorite part. The bow, the composition is a bit off with the bow, I think, in certain parts. But the arrow looks perfect. Like I wouldn't change anything about that arrow. Maybe in like a few years when I look back on it, I'll be like, this is trash. But right now, I only this is one of my favorite pieces that I've created, and it really does sell the whole vibe of the character. He's meant to be like a peaceful, in tune with his own body, in tune with the water around him. That's the whole vibe I'm going for. I do think I can do the character design a bit better. He's just a shirtless guy. Like there's a lot more stuff I can do to um, just to make the design more interesting. But maybe he's okay the way he is. Maybe I don't have to do too much. I think honestly with this piece, if the anatomy was a bit better, it would probably elevate it more. But apart from that, I'm 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 really happy with this piece, honestly. And it's the same character, but this time he's hanging upside down a tree with a little spirit on the background. I was quite there are certain flaws of this piece that like I like this piece. I did it at the time. I thought it was amazing. The anatomy, some of the values, some of the shading, I'm not a fan of. The water, I'm really happy with. I'm not really too happy with the water driplets in the hand. Maybe I'm a bit harsh on myself with that. Um, Face is a bit awkward, I think. I did go a bit effect heavy on this as well, which honestly isn't a problem. I don't really like the line art for this as well. It does feel a bit unfinished in certain areas, but I think the whole thing with this piece was me trying to like this was like the first time I was able to sort of paint water. So I was very proud of that. Um, there's not much really to say. It's the same character. He's very much themed around water. I was really trying to sell like a dynamic angle, a very awkward angle. It's a very awkward angle actually. Drawing this was a pain in the ass because I had to like flip it a few times Like, so it's upside down, but I had to flip it so it's not upside down, so I could see things a bit more clearly to draw the pose. But in the end, I think I got done a pretty good job. But like, there's things I can do a lot better. I'm just not too happy with the shading I did for this. I think, especially with some of the shape design on the body with like the tattoos and stuff, like I think I could, if I needed to add more clarity onto that. But like I'm learning more about patterns. I'm learning more about different patterns that different cultures use, and that knowledge and that all of that combined will help me a lot in the future. But yeah, no, it's really hard when like because when I'm designing these characters, I really don't just want to design characters for the sake of characters. Like I want to really derive meaning from everything that I'm doing. You know, I don't want it just I want it to look good. You know, I want it to look cool and really nice, but I want things to make sense. You know, I want you to be able to look at these pieces and be like that they feel alive, like they feel alive in a part of a world. Like it's not just about creating the art for me, it's more deriving meaning from something, you know. Ooh, this is a pretty nice one, right? Y'all think? I was quite happy with this one. Very happy with this one actually. Now this is like one of my characters, Zeri, as shown before, the solar goddess vibe character with Bori, who's the guy on the left, and this is like the wedding scene. So in the story that I'm working on, they get married, obviously. That's why it's a wedding scene, and yeah, and I just kind of well, it was actually made for one of the VGen contests. I didn't actually win it, which pissed me. Like I was pissed off. I deserved to. I feel like I deserved to win that with this piece. Like no offense to some of the people who won, but I really felt like I deserved to win because I put a lot of heart and soul into this, man. Like I put so much into this, and the fact that I didn't even get like there was like 100 people won and I didn't get one, I was bitter about it. I was annoyed, and I didn't even really care about the prize. I just wanted to win, you know. I just wanted to win something. But whatever. Despite all that, I was very happy with this piece. 1 second, let me drink my coffee. I was really just drawing from this reference I found, and then I kind of stopped drawing it, and then I came back to the piece, colored it in, and then I wanted to like make a harmony between water and fire because obviously one of the characters' power is water and the other one is fire. So in terms of my law, I just wanted it to make sense. I didn't just wanted to create something for like the wedding prompt in VGen. I wanted it to be from me, you know. It had to derive meaning from my world. And so you have the fire from the I forgot what that thing was called honestly. It's like a Russian, it's not like a shisha thing. It's like this Russian thing and it I wanted to, you know, the fire coming from top, the water bubble sort of diffusing the environment around it, the color palette. I was so proud of this. The only thing I can feel like I could do better is the background. The background looks very unfinished. It looks like there's something that's meant to be there but isn't. Maybe some of the water effects, like the foreground big bubble, like that looks really dodgy. Like I know I can see the flaws in that bubble now. Like the water isn't meant to diffuse that way. Um, Other than that, honestly, like I don't really know what I could have done better for this piece. Like obviously there's like maybe some lighting errors, but I was so proud of this. Like I was so proud of this, and I feel like it deserved. Like obviously like, the anatomy could be like, but the anatomy isn't wasn't the whole selling point of this. It was just like the lighting, the harmony between water and fire. You know, something cool, something chaotic, something peaceful. And also I forgot to mention the, expressing like the Kurdish tradition. This is like a Kurdish wedding, but it's in my world, and yeah, there's just so much meaning behind this piece for me. That there are technical things that could be a bit better, but other than like that, I feel like this is one of my pieces that is gonna hold up for how much meaning there is to it. But technically, it could definitely be better in certain areas. Okay. Um, I don't really want to talk too much about this piece because it's kind of like an an older version of the character I created before. Honestly, there are some elements on this design that so obviously this is Freya of the Gilded Concord. There are certain elements about this design that I do prefer, and I guess that would be how much more clean it is. It's a lot more clean, streamlined. Like the line art is a lot more smoother and everything. The shading and all that. It's more smooth. But if I just go back to, I prefer this one. I do. I just think that there's more energy and there's just more personality in this one. And then the way I painted the metal is a lot better. But this one is still this. I think this one is still kind of holds up quite well. Um, I don't really like the metal. I think the chest area is very nice for this one. The runes look a bit better. Um, but like I think this one just looks more visually interesting. There's some parts of the other one that look better than this one, and they are the same character, but I feel like this one just reads more interesting. It's a bit more chaotic though. That's the one problem I guess it kind of has is it's not. I guess it wouldn't say it's as clean or refined. Oops, sorry, as refined as the original, but I think the colors work very nicely in this one. Yeah, I still keep it in my portfolio. I still keep it there, but there's a lot of like anatomy issues, I guess you could say, and it's nice. It's nice. I was happy over this when I made it. Damn, I remember I spent so much time on this. I spent so much time on all of them, but this one I remember. This is funny enough one of the main characters of the story that I'm working on, and her name would be Enola. Uh, I I was pretty happy with this. I wouldn't say it's my strongest one. I feel like I could do a lot more with her design. She's meant to be inspired by like Western, yeah, I say like Western, obviously, like, the old Western films like Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and like Red Dead Redemption 2, but also inspired by indigenous Native Americans culture. And there's, with the whole indigenous element to it, could probably do so much better with it. And the colors on this, I'm not really too. The colors I imagine her having are completely different to what I'm seeing right now. So this may be in need of a rework. Yeah, this definitely needs a rework. It looks cool, I guess. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't say it's my one of my best ones. Um, I did try to sort of copy elements from Marvel Rivals with like the semi-loose line work. Don't worry about it. I was just trying to pick up on things here and there with the design, but Enola, that's her name, and she is. This is why I don't like working on the main characters in my world. I don't enjoy designing the main characters in my world because I'm never happy with how they look. I need them to look perfect because they're the main characters. So it's a lot easier for me to work on side characters. Bori, the water dancer. This is the guy that you guys saw previously in that wedding illustration. Now, this piece, I'll be honest, When I first created it, I liked it. When I look at it now, I really don't like it. I don't like the colors. I don't like the shading. I don't like the face. I don't really. I'm kind of happy with the water in the background. I could do better. It's a bit chaotic. I don't even really want to talk about this piece. The only part of it that I actually like is the jeans, not the jeans, the clothing, the trousers, and the belt. I think I did a pretty nice job there. I have like a line art sketch version of this, which I'll show you guys, which I prefer, and I feel like I I want to go back to that and start this piece again and keep it simple instead of doing all this chaotic shit going on. I next important character. I'm gonna keep it in my portfolio because I feel like it still shows some illustration skill, but I don't know. Like the more I've looked at this piece, the less I like it. The first time when I created it at first, I liked it, but I don't like it anymore. Next, I might need to remove this. Don't worry about this. Okay, so this is the same character in the like obviously the wedding illustration. I created this before the one that I just showed you that I didn't like, and honestly, I prefer this one. I feel like this one is a lot more interesting to look at. The colors, the whole vibe of the character, and everything. I feel like it's so much better on this piece. Now, but there are a lot of like anatomical problems with this piece. Like you could say, you know, maybe the face, the hair. I do like how I did the face and eyes, and especially the way the arms in the background glow and they still look watery. And the super smooth line art that I did for this, I was proud of this. Like there are I would say there could be the design overall could be a little bit better. There could be more patterns. There could be more like stuff on like especially the trousers area. I could do that stuff a lot better, but honestly, I created this like I think around last year December, so 2024 December, and it's so much better than this. At least to me, right? Maybe to someone else, this looks better than this, but to me, this just looks better. This looks more interesting. This looks more like this. I feel the vibe of the character I'm trying to give off more in this piece. The hands, the backgrounds, hands, and everything. It's just so much better. This is much better, honestly. I'm actually quite proud of this. Like it's not the technically the best, but I like this guy. I like this guy. It's one of my favorite characters. He's one of my. He's not even an important character. I just needed to create a love interest for Zeri, and then yeah. Oh, this is actually not that bad, is it? Why do I keep thinking this looks shit? Every time I look at this, I feel like it looks shit. But now that I'm looking at it like this, it's not even. It really isn't as bad as I've imagined it to be. Now, I am kind of redesigning this character recently, and I would love to show you guys a little sneak peek of what I'm doing with him. But yeah, this is Akin. He is the for sure of I think I'm saying that word right. For sure of Arantis. He is not he is an important character. He's part of the Stormkin, which Aranis, the Lifebringer, the Water Bow Archer guy, is also a part of. He's his powers the Earthquake, and the whole point is the Earthquake is is supposed to match his personality a bit, and Earthquakes can be quite unpredictable, chaotic, aggressive, and I kind of try to portray that within this design. I am redesigning him, obviously, as I mentioned. Um, I'm still keeping a lot of elements the same from this design. I'm just adding more like oomph to the design, as I'll show you in the sketch. But looking at this now, it really isn't as bad as I thought it is. It's not that bad. It looks pretty decent. I mean, I'm not trying to like stroke my own horn or toot my own horn a bit. It really isn't that bad, but the redesign is going to look a lot better, trust me. But now that I'm looking at this, it's like I have extra pressure to make the redesign look better. And this is Zeri, the golden child. I think that's what I gave her as an alias. Now, I did make this about more than a year ago. I don't like it on a technical level, but I really like the way I designed the character. I think it's a pretty nice character design. I think everything is yeah, you can feel the vibe of the character. The anatomy is off as shit. It's off a lot. It's very much off, but I like the weapon I created in the background to match the solar powers of the character. Um, the colors, I think I did a good job on the colors, especially. But the overall, like the technical side of this, I'm not too much of a. I think the vibe and everything about this is good apart from the technical parts, is what I can say. But we're sort of entering. I don't really want to talk about these pieces. I've created them a long time ago. I've pretty much talked about all the pieces that matter in my portfolio. Um, so yeah, I still got a long way to go. I still got to improve technically. I still got many characters I need to design, many areas in my world I need to eventually start working on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you got a bit of a more interesting deep dive into my actual world. And if you're interested, I will talk about it more. I will talk about certain elements in my world more. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thanks for watching. Bye.